Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Marie-Louise. So today I'm going to show you how I achieve this flawless foundation routine. I use a variety of products from high-end to drugstore. I personally prefer drugstore. I mean, who doesn't want to save their money? If you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing that I usually do to prep my skin for makeup is I moisturize. You know, I wash my face and I usually use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel. It is perfect and it is really good for oily or combination oily skin. So I just apply this like a little bit everywhere. So I feel like, you know, prepping your skin is fundamental for like the best makeup application. So that is a step not to skip when applying makeup. So the next thing I use is almond oil, and of course this one you can get it from this cam. So I love almond oil because it gives me this like really nice and healthy glow. I know that, you know, when you have oily skin or oily combination skin, like the last thing you want is to have like way too much oil, but you just need to apply just a little bit. Like I just kind of like pat it into my skin like so, and it's nice because like it creates like a tacky base, and it's perfect when you want to apply your foundation. I kind of stay away from like silicone primers. I feel like they kind of make your makeup like slide off, so I usually prefer sticking to like, you know, creamy or like gel like, you know, primers and creams for foundation. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to use is the Cover FX blurring primer. I'm just going to apply this in like my T-zone just to like kind of blur out the pores. So I'm going to apply it here on my nose and a little bit on my forehead and a little bit under my eye and here as well. And I'm just gonna kind of like blend that out nicely. Okay, so for foundation, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Superstay foundation in Chestnut, but I feel like it's a little bit dark for me, so I'm gonna add like a dot of the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in, what shade is this? In Toffee. So I'm gonna mix the two to create my perfect shade, and I'm just gonna use the Real Techniques brush, stippling brush. I think you can get these at Foschini or Clicks. I love this brush to apply foundation. I feel like it's really nice because it really pushes the product inside. And obviously when you want to apply your foundation, you kind of want to like do pounding motions into your skin instead of swiping motions. So I just applied evenly all over my skin. I feel like whenever I always start with eyeshadow first. I have like this shadow here because there's no foundation there, so it's good to keep in mind that, you know, whenever you want to start with like your eye makeup, you should first apply a little bit of foundation in your inner corner so that it can all look seamless. I'm gonna go in like with a last pump into areas where I feel like I have a few dark spots, and I'm just gonna apply a little bit more and bring it down my neck as well. The next thing I do to just give my face a flawless finish is I use a beauty sponge. I feel like, you know, a beauty sponge is good in like locking the product in and obviously also taking in some extra product. So I use a damp beauty sponge and I just go over the foundation that I apply to make it look more seamless and more flawless, like so. And you do so in pounding motions. I don't ever like apply my foundation only with a beauty blender or a sponge. I feel like when I use both together, they give me best results. So I always make sure that I use both. Okay, so after foundation, you want to conceal your under eye. And I'm gonna use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in number 40. So you want to conceal with a shade like lighter then your foundation, and I'm just gonna apply just a little bit under my eye. A little bit goes a long way. There's no need to draw like triangles and whatever, love hearts. I feel like at the end of the day, when you blend your product, it does spread, so there's no need to add way too much. And the reason why I conceal is because, you know, sometimes even when you apply foundation, like you still have like some dark areas, especially if like you have really big bags, big Chanel bags under your. So I normally use my beauty sponge to conceal, like so. And I make sure that I blend and push the product in perfectly so that there's no like creases or lines. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, perfect. Now that we're done with concealing, we're gonna go with highlighting. And I'm gonna use my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in the shade Caramel. So highlighting, you just wanna bring like more light, you know, you want to bring more, and usually it's like the center of your face. So I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to apply it in the areas where, you know, the light naturally hits my face. So that is under eye, okay, the bridge of your nose, okay, your cupid's bow, your chin, a little bit under the eyes as well, a little bit more, okay, and just like a dot on my forehead. So the reason why I don't apply too much product, as I've said before, is because I kind of have lines on my forehead and I don't want the product to kind of like sit into the lines. So the less product, the better. So I'm first gonna start with my forehead, and I'm just gonna blend that in using my beauty sponge. And I'm gonna go down on the bridge of my nose like so, and I'm just gonna do the same thing, and I'm just gonna blend and blend and blend. Blending is key, people. The more you blend, the better. I love this concealer. It kind of has like a weird smell, but I think it's a pretty good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. If you've tried the Tarte Shape Tape, which is amazing, but also very super expensive, and also not very accessible here in South Africa because, well, it's an American brand. But I've tried it before and I loved it. Like, the coverage is just amazing, and the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer also kind of gives me that coverage that I love so much. And I'm obviously gonna blend here on my Cupid's bow, and I'm gonna blend down here. So make sure that, like, you know, when you're blending, you blend very well. You blend. You can also use your fingers. I often go with my fingers just to make sure that there's no creases and there's no product sitting on lines. And then last step is to blend on my chin. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with my fingers, and I'm just gonna blend the product in with my fingers, like so. After all these creamy products, the next thing that we want to do is to set. So I'm going to use my Revlon Photoready Candid setting powder. It is amazing. This powder is amazing, and they have 3 shades. They have, I think, number 1, which is for fair skin, and number 2, medium skin tones, and number 3 for deep skin tones. I use number 2. It is so good. It is so fine, guys. It is so fine. It's such a good powder, and I prefer this color as opposed to the number 1 because I don't like that extra like highlighted, you know, highlight. So I love this color. I feel like it's perfect for me. So I'm gonna put a little bit here into the container cover, and I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna apply this in the areas where I highlighted. So that means my under eye area. So when I apply the product on the bridge of my nose, I kind of pinch the beauty sponge so that it can be thin, you know, and then I can apply it without like making a mess, like so. A little bit on my forehead, on my Cupid's bow, and then lastly on my chin, like so. Apply a little bit more here. Okay, so you want to let that cook nicely, and then you want to contour. But I feel like, you know, when it's hot, you don't want like too many, you don't want to deal with too many cream products. So I stick to powders. So what I normally do is I use pressed powder, and today I'm going to use the Nicka K dark chocolate pressed powder. This is available at Discount, by the way, and I'm just going to use that as a contour for today. So I'm going to use this angled brush, and I will contour my cheekbones. So when you contour, you want to make sure that you do like swirling motions on your cheek. And also, I don't like a contour that is way too strong, you know. I want something that's light, bronzy, something that's not too obvious. And I normally like do swirling motions on my cheek, and that way I can get like a good product payoff. Okay, so another trick is when you want to contour your forehead, you do the same thing, but you kind of push the product like upwards instead of inwards. I feel like it works better for me because I have a shorter forehead, and obviously when you have a bigger forehead, you kind of want to work inwards instead of like outwards. So I have a shorter forehead, so I bring the powder upwards like so. Okay, and also on my jawline, just a little swirl of makeup, and there we go. Okay, instead of using like a highlighter like under my contour line, I just go back with the setting powder. So I'm going to use the same powder that I use for my face, and I'm just going to apply it under my contour to make it look, you know, a little bit sharp, but like not too defined. At the end of the day, you want something more natural. You want to look like, you know, you just woke up like that, but like obviously you're wearing makeup, but you don't want like too much sharpness. You just want to look like, you know, you're, I don't know, you want to look like you're done, but like not like overcooked. So I'm just gonna apply like a little bit of this in under my contour. Like so. Okay, you see, it's like a very like sheer line of translucent powder that I'm applying, not too much, and I'm going to do the same this way. Perfect. Okay, so when we're all done, we don't need all this powder, so we need to like take it away. So I'm going to use this brush to dust off all the excess powder, and you want to make sure that you take all the product perfectly, you know, so that you don't get flashback if you are to take pictures. Then I'm going to take it off here under my contour, my chin, bridge of my nose, and my contour up here. To contour my nose and to give it more definition, I will use the Tarte bronzer in Hotel Heiress. I love this. Guys, I've hit pan in this. This is like thebomb.com. This is amazing. Okay, so I'll use this to contour my nose a little bit, you know, give it a little bit of shape and definition. So I'm gonna use a tiny little brush. I'm gonna use this brush, and I'm gonna apply this at the tip of my nose. I love it because it's not too much, you know, it's like the perfect warmth. And I'm just gonna follow the sides of my nose with this product and bring it upwards here under my brow. I'm gonna take some more. Okay, so I'm gonna apply it like this, and then I'm gonna do like a little line here as well. Perfect. Okay, so now to add a little bit more warmth, I feel like, you know, I like my contour is not like, it's there, but then like I want to add like just more extraness. So I'm gonna go back in with like the Tarte bronzer in Hotel Heiress, and I'm just gonna apply that on top of my contour just to bring in a little bit more warmth. So I'm gonna go in like this. I'm gonna add more, and I'm gonna go in like so. Okay, so we want to get rid of all this powder in the face, so I'm going to use my setting spray. I use this setting spray from Rimmel, the Insta Fix and Go. It's a 2-in-1 setting primer, so I use this to kind of like, you know, just like get rid of all the powder on my face. So I'm just going to spray this all over my face. Setting sprays are the best. So I'm just gonna let this dry. And next thing, I'm going to use a blush. I love blush. I feel like I can never do makeup without blush. I'd rather not even wear like contour or bronzer, but I will have to wear blush. I feel like blush just brings in like a little bit more life into your skin. So I'm gonna use the MAC mineralize blush in Gleeful. It's one of my favorite blushes, and I love it so much. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna apply it into the apples of my cheek. It's like a nice, and what I usually do also, you know, just to like be a little bit extra, is I apply a little bit of this onto my nose. I really do like this trend. I've seen it all over like Instagram and YouTube, and I love it. So I apply a little bit of this on my nose, and I keep applying a little bit more, and even like on my forehead, no, here like that. Okay, so after blush, obviously we have highlighter. So today I'm gonna use the Bobbi Brown Blondes Gold. This is one of my holy grails. It is so amazing. It is beautiful, 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 beautiful. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna use the Luxie brush tapered highlighter brush to highlight my cheekbones. Spray my brush a little bit just with some fixing spray, and I'm gonna dig into my gold. You want to apply it here in the bone that's here. That's where you want to apply your like, if you feel there's like a bone here, that's where you want to apply your highlighter. So oh my god, this is so beautiful. Like I'm having like, oh, like do you this is like, do you see this shit? It is so gorgeous. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. So I'm gonna apply a little bit more, because the more the better. I'm gonna apply on this side as well. Okay, and on the tip of my nose for a cute button nose, and a little bit on the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on the side of my nose as well. I kind of like that. I think it's cute. I think it's cute. Okay, and just a tinsy bit on my forehead. Tinsy bit, but I'm still applying. Okay, anyway, and then of course a little bit on my Cupid's bow, like so, and then a little bit on my chin. Okay, so what I also like to do is I apply a little bit of this highlighter under my brow, just for that like extra highlight, like so. Okay, I'm just gonna apply a little bit more here. Okay, and a little bit more here. Okay, there's hair on my face. Okay, we're done. Look at me, like I'm like a glazed peach. Is there something as a glaze? No, there's no such thing as a glazed peach either. A glazed donut. Like just look at this, like this is gorgeous. Just apply more. Do you think I look cute? So the last step is to lock seal this makeup. So I use a different makeup to set my foundation, to lock it in place, to make sure that it lasts longer. And I use the Maybelline Lasting Fix. And just as it says, it really does last. So I'm gonna apply this and I'm gonna spray this all over my face. Give it a good shake. And apply this all over my face. These setting sprays are so refreshing under the heat. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I went in and popped in some lashes, did my eyeshadow, and put in some lipstick. By the way, this is Mlsbeauty liquid lipstick in Cashemere. So when you buying, girl. Anyway, so this is how I do my flawless foundation routine, and it does last me out through the whole day. And the good thing is that you can actually use like products that are not too expensive. For example, the Maybelline product that I mentioned earlier, it's really good. It's like full coverage. It's like medium to full coverage, and it does like really last. It's one of the best drugstore foundations. So yeah, what do you guys think of the look? Thank you for watching my video. Please do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and please follow me on Instagram. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.